I mean, I guess she could have noticed if somebody was like slinking around like this in engineering.
One would think, given the importance of your mission, they might send a ship of a more recent vintage. But, apparently not.
Commander Rydek, a word.
I would like multiple words with you right now.
And to think, I waited 600,000 years for this.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Hey, how you doing? Welcome back. I am Brant, of course, and today we're playing Star Trek Resurgence. It's been far too long since I've dipped into this, and we're getting towards the end game, but we're not right at the end yet. Also, it's the middle of the night, so I'm trying not to really annoy my neighbors. Last time, from what I can remember, we finally spoke to Portal 6-3, the last guardian of the Takan, the man himself in the flesh, and all he wanted was to be left alone. But we insisted. We pushed through his illusory defenses, and we sort of instigated a conversation, let's say. What up, P-Dog?
Barbarians, how dare you disturb me?
That's my bad. And Portal took Jara and isolated her to have a one-on-one. Like a for real, hey, just talk to me. Like a human being. Well, I guess not a human being. He's Takan. They're different.
I will speak with you alone.
Oh, okay. See you later. And through this conversation, I had to convince him that one, the Takan are back, Scions of the Flame are back, that they have a Cartabula that's back, and two, that it was in his best interest to help us deal with them, however he sees fit, really. And he was reluctant at first. He kind of wanted to not interfere. He sort of tested the boundaries of our beliefs on whether or not the Takan coming back was a bad thing or not. And I finally convinced him that, hey, at the very least, you should come see what they're doing. With your own eyes, take a look at Scions of the Flame for yourself. Because it's been hundreds of thousands of years. So he doesn't really know what's going on, but he's about to find out because he is coming with us. He is literally judge, jury, and executioner if he sees fit. There are, of course, risks associated with this. If he finds that Scions of the Flame are totally proper, then he might actually join them and help them. He hasn't said this, but it's a fear that I have. However, I think Portal 6-3 has more integrity than that. I think he will be displeased with how the Scions have been conducting themselves in the name of Takan. All right, now it's time to see how it all shakes out. Let's get into the game itself. The overload incident. Oh no. I do sometimes wonder whether I should actually look at what's happening on screen here, because it is a mild spoiler, but it does intrigue me. We've got Miranda here, and we have, oh, what's her name? That's the main Squidward guy's friend. Like I said, it's been a second. Okay, this Zeldy. Have we seen this exact shot before? It feels very familiar. The overload incident.
4 warp cores?
Oh,
It's
a Rocket League ball.
Redundancy. If one goes down in battle, we can still operate.
Makes this more difficult, though.
This ship can maintain warp with half the cores offline.
Oh.
We'll need to disable 3 of them.
Where are the engine schematics? Power flow routing charts.
We're soldiers.
Not nerds.
I thought you would know what to do.
Buddy, this isn't my ship.
How to operate it under normal conditions, but not the intricacies.
Yeah, I don't know. You're the smart nerd-ass dude. Figure it out, Carter. Not our problem. Why would you think he would know that? Carter had probably literally never even heard of this species of creature a week ago. And they're like, yeah, what? You don't know how to work our highly technical, advanced machinery? What's wrong with you, Carter? You appreciate us now? That's a bit overly hostile and sassy. We have it handled. That's very confident. You have your part. What does that mean? Does that mean like you have your role that you play? I'm gonna need your help because you're involved in this as well. I'm not gonna do it all myself. You've got to be here with me. Is that what that means? I think so, because We Have It Handled is very hands off. It's like, hey, you don't worry about any of this. Me and my people, we'll deal with it. Whereas You Have Your Part is kind of a little bit more collaborative, I guess. Yeah, we'll work on it, but you gotta work on it with us. You gotta help us out. We're gonna do a back and forth kind of thing. I kind of like so either I like X or A. I don't want to go overly hostile. That's not going to benefit us in this high pressure situation. There doesn't need to be infighting. We need all the allies we can get, and we need them to be as cooperative as possible. We Have It Handled is nice because it delegates the task. It says, okay, now you go do your stuff. Don't worry about it. We're good. But You Have Your Part could feel more inclusive, and that is good for team building. That is good for us feeling like a unified front, all on the same page, all working towards the same goals and objectives. I like that. It does sound like mildly hostile. It does sound kind of like Carter is trying to take control of the situation and he's bossing people around, whereas We Have It Handled is Carter acting more as like a squad leader of part of the collective. If that makes sense? I don't know. I want to say You Have Your Part. Hopefully that leads to the whole collaborative shit that I talked about. I don't know. Anyway, hey.
We'll do our part, you do yours.
Oh.
Anything that comes through that door, stop it.
Yeah, okay. That's not exactly what I thought he was going to say. That's a little bit more terse than I wanted, but I think that probably is very similar to We Have It Handled, but it's just a little bit more pointed at them, which I would have preferred not to do, but here we are.
That I can do.
Okay,
You
great.
at least know where we should start?
This way.
Sabotage the Zeldy's warp cores. I'm on it. Hey, can I talk to you guys? No? Okay. All right, great. You're doing a great job. Brother is over here cracking a safe. My man. We have some of those cores from GLaDOS over here. Great. Oh, not me. Whoa, this is like the bridge on DS9. You have your little command center down in the pit. Yeah. Why do I feel like this is going to be a shooting gallery level? Hey guys, what's up?
What are we dealing with?
Okay. A Lydian warp core. One of 4 warp cores powering the Zeldy. Thermal output indicates each core alone could not sustain minimal warp, but harmonic infusion of at least 2 cores would produce an exponential increase in power. Interesting. So they kind of rely on like a feedback loop of some sort to output enough power to keep things going. Okay, we've got our Rocket League ball up here. Radiation casing. Radiation-resistant casing protecting the warp core's matter-antimatter reaction chamber. Okay, that's kind of cool. Chemical scan mode. Coolant regulator. The thermostatic sensor relays temperature signals to automated coolant valve controls. That's our weakness that we're exploiting, I'm guessing?
Cores are running really hot. Makes sense, since they've been producing at max output since we left Hotari space.
Yeah, water-cooled.
Run for very long like that. Not before a catastrophic failure hits.
It's right on the edge. We just need to figure out a way to give it a push.
Bet that console down there could tell us a few things.
Yeah, isn't overloading the warp core, like, really bad? I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure that tends to lead to, like, the destruction of the ship in most cases. Whoa! Holy shit, Carter. That was so wicked. I need more of that. Carter has been pretty athletic throughout this, but there's like dodging stuff, jumping over stuff. How the hell did you beat me down here? Okay. Access to Zelda engineering console.
Whatever we do, we need to make sure the Takan can't undo it.
So we need a way to permanently disable the reactors that won't destroy the ship and kill us all in the process.
Yeah, that'd be
You
preferable.
thinking what I'm thinking?
Warp core ejection. So the
Oh,
question
okay.
is, how do we make it happen?
Good question. Examine coolant system.
The reactor coolant system is operating at emergency containment levels.
It's just barely keeping the temperature in check.
Maybe we can use that. If it gets this high, their system considers a reactor breach imminent.
Okay. Examine reactor status. Status. That's one of those funny things about Star Trek is that they have a tradition of you basically inherit the pronunciation of actors before you when they have pronounced something. Data is only called Data because on screen it was pronounced Data first before Data. And so his name just became Data. I feel like status is one of them. Where somebody pronounces status, and it's not been status ever since. It's status. There's a few others like that.
Like we saw on the bridge, all 4 warp cores are operating at full capacity.
They're overclocking it. Holy. Examine safety protocols.
The safety protocols don't look much different from the Resolute. Breach protection. Reduce output, command override. Cease matter, antimatter flow, command override. Emergency warp core ejection. Computer control.
Even command functions can't override one of the most crucial safety measures.
So the protocol's still active. That's good.
Yeah.
Looks like if sensors show a core is about to rupture, the computer will eject it automatically rather than risk a breach.
So we need to increase the warp core's temperatures.
If we destroy the coolant regulators, there won't be anything to keep these reactors from going over.
And it will trigger the ejection. Let's peel these suckers open. I'll take that one.
I'll take the one next to it.
Okay.
The second you two start dumping cores, the Takan will know we're here.
True.
We'll be vulnerable. Stuck in one place while you work.
We will have to make a stand.
Yeah, are you guys ready? Have you made your adjustments? Have you found your vantage points and all that stuff? I should check with you before I go ahead and do it. We have to finish it. I'm good under pressure. Start thinking about escape. I don't know if they should start thinking about escape. The Elydians don't like fleeing. They've made that clear before. They don't want to leave anybody behind. That's against their code of ethics or whatever. But it is always good to have that as an idea in mind. We have to finish it is true. I'm good under pressure is fine. That might be that feels like the cool guy action answer. I'm good under pressure. Like, okay, Carter, chill out. We have to finish it is pragmatic and logical. But I'm nervous to pick one of these now because of how the last one went. I'm not leaning towards A. I'm leaning towards X or Y. We have to finish it. This sort of implies get ready for a fight. One way or another. This is how it's got to be. We have to finish it. I'm good under pressure is like a real confidence booster, but to me, it just reads as like slightly arrogant. You know, people who are really good under pressure don't need to say it. So I feel like I'm going to go with Y for that reason alone.
Do whatever you have to do to make sure we have the time to finish.
Anything?
Within reason.
Okay, good save.
Barricade the door. Work quickly.
Yeah, if you got to shoot him. But we don't need to be doing like any weirdo ass torture stuff.
We might not have our tools, but our phasers can do this in a pinch.
All right, let's get to it. Let's unplug the liquid pump.
Better get this right. If we foul it up and this whole thing goes boom,
Then that would be bad.
how much damage that cartabula will do if we accidentally crack it open.
Yeah, there goes the galaxy. Yeah, no pressure, I guess. We won't be around. True. Just gotta do the work. I think I gotta go with just gotta do the work, because throughout the game, I feel like I've played Carter kind of as an optimist in a lot of ways. He has a real upbeat attitude. He uses his charisma to lift up the people who he works with, and he gets the best out of them through that by keeping them focused, by rallying the troops. And just gotta do the work, I feel like does that the best, because there goes the galaxy says, hey, if you fuck up, everybody dies everywhere. So don't fuck up. So like it's a ton of pressure. We won't be around is like a really grim, dark outlook. It's like, hey, don't fuck up or else we're gonna be dead. I mean, you could look at we won't be around as, well, you know, if things go wrong, we won't have to deal with the consequences of it because we can't suffer if we're dead. At least it won't be a slow death. But I think that's a lot to put on Etzelar's brain when she's doing fine, delicate work. Whereas just gotta do the work, it kind of puts her in the mindset of, how many times have we done something like this? This is every day for us. We are trained for this. We have been through experiences like this before. We've made it out the other end. Just gotta do the work. Calm, cool, collected, keep the nerves down, keep the adrenaline down as much as reasonably can be when you're getting assaulted by the Takan or Scions of the Flame. So just gotta do the work.
Listen, the best way to make sure something goes wrong is to stress.
Yeah.
Keep your mind on the job, and we'll be okay.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
It's not a Starfleet warp core, but the coolant regulator has to be in here somewhere.
Just surely that's how this minigame works. Oh. Those pops are pretty cool. Come on. Get in there.
There you are. Time to heat things up.
This looks kind of like a capacitor, I guess. Or something like that. It looks like a futuristic capacitor filled with neon gas. Or something like that.
Warning.
Yeah, just overheat the filament.
Core output at critical level. Ejecting core.
See you later.
They're definitely gonna know we're down here.
Warp core output at critical level. Ejecting core.
It's pretty cool.
They're here.
They're cutting through the door. We don't have much time.
Okay. I'm on it.
Okay, same as before. We just gotta...
Just gotta do it while under fire. Oh. Ow! How dare you? Ow! I'm dead! Oh no. Hasn't happened in a while. I guess I should just not be out of cover as often. Carter and his allies died in the fight. Retry. Should I swap over to mouse and keyboard? Like, let's do this for real, for real. Damn it. I just immediately got shot. Low-key way easier with mouse and keyboard.
Finish!
Okay. Moving along. Come on, Etzelar. We got this. Heyo.
Hey, would you mind not shooting at the matter-antimatter reactor?
I'll cover you.
What? No!
Get the warp core done, or we're all dead.
I got it, Etzelar. Close. Ataska, no.
Now, gun! No! Shoot!
I got it.
Core output at critical level. Ejecting core. Warp drive disengaged.
Nice.
You did it.
Hell yeah, we did. That's the Starfleet way. She's so athletic.
Got that escape plan for me?
I think so. Itasca, can you climb?
She is going through it.
I'll see you on the parade grounds of Sorella, my friend.
She's like, I got shot in the leg. I'm dead. And Arminta's like, yeah, you're pretty much dead. We can't live without that thigh section. Realistically, Itasca's probably like, I'm just going to slow you down. Let me sacrifice myself to buy you some time, I guess.
You want me? I'm right here.
I suspect this is not the last we'll see of Itasca. Based off of the thumbnail. Although this might be. This might be. Miranda.
Not you too.
Oh.
Calm yourself, child.
Stop trying to big bro me, Miranda.
It will all be better soon. Wake up, Manka Umet.
Wait, you know who is in that crystal? Is there like name tags on each one?
Rejoin the flame.
To reclaim what was lost.
Doesn't it take a while for them to like fully take over?
We don't need to watch this.
I do. I want to remember every moment when I make them pay.
Or is Itasca just really weak?
I will avenge Itasca.
No offense, Itasca.
Swear to me, you will join me in this.
How about we try to save her?
That's a dream.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Miranda did get turned into Silence of the Flame very quickly, but she was keeping up the act of being Miranda because she needed the subterfuge. That's probably what was going on. But it did feel like early on it kind of took a little while for the Scion to really take a hold of the brain. Our options are, we'll avenge her. We have a mission. There's still hope. I don't like we'll avenge her, even though he will appreciate we'll avenge her. I don't like it because it has Carter falling victim to the hopelessness of Yeah, well, she's dead. And if she's dead, that means Miranda's dead. And I'm not ready for Carter to give that up yet. Especially not with Etzelar still there. She's definitely not going to like that. But I don't think Carter would believe it either, personally. We have a mission is the neutral option. I think this is one of these situations where one option makes Etzelar happy and one option makes Arminta happy. We'll avenge her, aligns yourself with Arminta. There's still hope, aligns yourself with Etzelar. We have a mission as the neutral option. And it's something that both of them can get on the same page with. Hey, let's stay focused. We have a job to do. There will be casualties in the mission. Some people will be lost, but we got to stay focused on the objectives that need to happen. But part of me does wonder if we stay adamant that there is still hope, I wonder if Arminta can be swayed into that line of thinking at least a little bit, because that would be nice. Then we wouldn't have to have this friction all the time about the way that Arminta sees things and the way that Etzelar sees things. We could just all be on the same page. If we convince him that we truly believe that there's still hope, maybe he'll believe it a little bit too. Just a little bit. But he might also just see that as really naive. And if that option really bounces off of him, it might actually create more distance between us and Arminta. And right now we need him more than ever. Seems like it's just the three of us. I don't know if anybody else survived. Whatever. I'm going to say there's still hope just because I think we have a mission is probably the right thing to say. But I think there's still hope is probably what Carter would say. I think Carter needs to say it for himself to keep believing it. I think there is less and less evidence that it is true, that they can be recovered, but I think he would still cling on to it.
As long as she's alive and her memories are still in there, there's still hope.
Hope is what you turn to when you have nothing left you can do. And there's still something I can do for Itasca. And I shall.
Yeah, really kind of bounce off of him. Also not true. We've had hope since literally before we got on this ship. So, and we've had a lot to do since then. It's a nice platitude, I guess. There's a nice ring to it. It's probably one of those old Elydian sayings, one of those old Elydian idioms, that's been passed down for generations. Just everybody says it. Nobody even thinks about it. It's like looking at a gift horse in the mouth. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? There's a historical context behind it, but nobody thinks about that. They just say the words and it conveys the meaning because it conveyed that meaning a handful of decades ago, and just people keep saying it, and it just keeps meaning roughly the same thing. Maybe that's why he said it. I'm convinced. But we got a green outline around him. Major Arminta was thankful for Carter's determined leadership during the sabotage mission, especially after Itasca was captured. Huh, sure. I'll take that. I don't know how much my dialogue played into that, but I'll take that. Sure, yeah. Again, I feel like that pretty well aligns with how I've been playing Carter throughout the whole game. Determined leadership. He's always got his eye on the prize. He's always trying to keep people focused and get the best work out of them. Meanwhile, we have a new chapter. A stranger among us. Among us. Oh, yeah. Portal.
So much I want to ask you.
Shut up, dude.
I can tell you. I'm a portal, not a scientist, but I'll certainly do my best. I can only assume this is one of your older starships.
Don't talk to Westbrook.
One would think, given the importance of your mission, they might send a ship of a more recent vintage. But, apparently not.
Portal's such a dick. That's so funny. That is the 24th century equivalent of, oh, so you're wearing that, huh? I just thought you'd wear something nicer. But no, if you're wearing that, then it's fine, I guess. Like, what the hell do you mean by that, Portal? Oh my god. And look at Jara's face. Jara's face is the perfect reaction to what Portal has been saying. She has been around Portal for exactly 15 minutes, and she is done with him. She's keeping her cool because she knows that so much rests on this. Westbrook is just like, I'm here too. What are our options? She's modern enough. It's a research ship. Don't be rude. On one hand, I like Don't Be Rude because it is direct and it lets him know that, hey, you've kind of overstepped your bounds socially a little bit. But I don't think he's particularly concerned with social niceties. I don't think he cares. Maybe it'll be useful for him to know that we care somewhat. It's a research ship. I think that maybe reflects poorly on us because it sort of indicates that we are a species who do not value research. It sort of indicates, well, if we had a warship, then you would see something. But this is a research ship. I don't like that potential connotation with that answer. But it could also just be pragmatic and straightforward. Hey, I'm not talking about the quality of the ship. This is a research ship. This is the purpose of the ship. If you want to do research, it's good at that. It also does indicate to him that we value enough about research to make ships dedicated to that. She's modern enough is probably what I'll go with. It sort of redirects the energy he's throwing at us a little bit. It says, yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I don't think it's a problem. I don't care if you think it's a problem. It's not a problem. You think the ship is antiquated? Well, it's good enough for this mission. Don't know what to tell you, bud. That is probably how I would handle this social situation myself. I would give you a response that shuts down that conversation a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go with she's modern enough.
Actually, the Resolute is one of our state-of-the-art starships.
That must be some sort of contemporary humor.
Okay, Jara, I was hoping you would dish it back a little bit. I was hoping you would not say, actually, what you think is antiquated is the best we have to offer. That doesn't look good on you, Jara. That doesn't look good on Starfleet. Jara was basically like, I'm just a little guy and I'm doing my best. He doesn't give a shit about that. I kind of wanted her to literally just say verbatim, the ship is modern enough. Period. The end. Let the silence hang over that answer. But no.
She's loaded with the latest and greatest technology in the galaxy.
I've never felt more unsafe.
All right. Well, get your ship, Portal.
Something wrong?
Not at all. The galaxy has grown more diverse.
Don't tell.
Days of the Tacon Empire.
Don't tell me Grandpa's
Because you
racist.
conquered everyone who didn't look like you.
To the contrary, most lesser civilizations willingly join the Empire to enjoy the benefits of an advanced way of life. But that expansion came with its own set of problems, so I admire your ability to diversify without creating conflict.
Thanks.
That was always our challenge. And perhaps, ultimately, our downfall.
Could have been. How long is this hallway? I feel like we've been walking for 5 minutes. Now, Portal was a Guardian, so he was just kind of isolated out in his own thing. I mean, he probably heard like news reports of stuff happening in the Empire, but something tells me they might have been assimilating people back in his time. Yeah, people willingly join the Empire, my ass. If you say so. That's what Silence of the Flame were saying about people now when they are forcibly assimilating them. So I'll believe it when I see it. And in order for me to see it, you better have a goddamn time machine, Portal, which, to be fair, does exist in Star Trek. So, you know, maybe that's where we're going. Diversity is our greatest strength. I like that. We overcome our differences. Okay, that's a little less... Okay. Finally, a compliment. You can really match his energy with just like being totally done with it. That is funny. I'm going to say diversity is our greatest strength because I do genuinely believe that a variety of experiences, a variety of cultures, a variety of perspectives do allow a more real truth to emerge. If you are looking at a coin, you can say truthfully that there is this symbol on that side of the coin, and that is true. However, it is a limited truth because you do not know what is on the other side of the coin. However, I have a perspective that can see the other side of the coin. And because I have OBS open and I can see through your perspective, I can also see the other side of the coin. I have a more real, true understanding of the coin because I can literally see both sides of it. Right? Now imagine an object much more complex than a coin. You might need more perspectives. And then maybe that object becomes something intangible, something abstract, something like the idea of justice, something like the idea of equity, something like the idea of commerce, something like the idea of healthcare, something like the idea of whatever. And you might need as many perspectives as you can get on it to truly understand the ramifications of it, to truly understand what it is, what it looks like, how it behaves, all of this. And you only get that through diverse cooperation. It is the only way. So I think diversity is our greatest strength.
The Federation prides itself on its inclusiveness. I'd say it's one of our greatest strengths.
As the Vulcans say, infinite diversity in infinite combinations.
Do they say that?
Interesting. I'd be curious to meet.
You would love them. You would love the Vulcans. They take no shit.
You have, then so be it. To locate this scion, Galvan, I'll need full access to your ship's systems.
Yeah, that's fine.
Full access?
Let him have it.
You must be out of your mind.
It's whatever.
No, I'm right here. Completely in my...
So he's autistic.
And
okay.
with all due respect to your advanced technique...
He takes everything very literally. I understand. No, I'm very much in my mind, thank you. You're incorrect. I'm right here. I'm right there with you, Portal. I wonder if it will give me the choice as to whether he's granted full access or not. I say, go ahead. Whatever. Like, we already know he can have full access. We were warned that is the first thing that they do when you go in orbit around their planet.
But the moment the Enterprise dropped into orbit around Delphi Ardu 4, he downloaded the entirety of the ship's computer. So I'd expect the same when you get there.
They just download everything off your ship's computers. So really, this feels like the social nicety that he has not afforded up until this point. He doesn't care about saying, how's the weather? But he will say, hey, I would like formal access to all of your ship systems. Will you grant me that? I can take it on my own. If you do not grant me that, I might still have full access because that's what it takes to get this done. But I'm offering you the opportunity to give me that access. So that way you feel involved in the process, you feel some level of control in the process. That is a social nicety he is extending. I will be annoyed if they make me do that choice without consulting Captain Solano. I'm just sitting over here looking at his angry, sour face, and he'll probably be pissed off if I give him full access. But, like, whatever.
The simple fact is that I won't be able to locate him without it. Perhaps I should have made that clear up front.
Yeah.
I'll need to make certain modifications.
Oh? Okay. That won't go over well. Shouldn't be a problem. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do because it does sort of say, I need to run this up the chain of command, but I'm on your side. I like that because it it does feel like the most nuanced and considered. And it doesn't promise him everything, but it does sort of imply that I'm going to work on getting you everything. That won't go over well. I don't even know why that wouldn't go over well. I guess if we're like super uptight or whatever. I mean, Solano is probably going to be a little nervous because our ship systems have been compromised and data has gotten out just recently. So he's probably very nervous about, oh yeah, just give another person full access to the computer. Shouldn't be a problem, is a little too overly confident. It sort of has Jara acting as the end all be all. This is my choice, which I don't know that it is really. So I'll see what I can do.
I can't promise anything, but let me see what I can do.
Just know, without it, I won't be able to help you.
This isn't gonna fly.
I think it'll be
I'll
fine.
see you on the bridge.
I got a little bit of pull on the
Captain
ship.
Solano, I'd like to introduce you to Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire.
Pleasure to meet you, Captain.
Hey, yo, what up?
Likewise. I can't say I've ever met a portal before. There is no modern equivalent. Not within the Federation, at least.
Solano has no riz. He has zero charisma when it comes to talking to people or meeting people. I've noticed this. He's like, hey, so all of your people are dead, huh? It's like talking to a fossil over here. Okay, Solano. Chill out. He also kind of put his foot in his mouth a little bit when talking to Spock quite a bit, and I had to step in and help him out.
But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past.
Just stop talking, Solano. Our options are a prestigious position, or he's willing to help us, or we're lucky to have him. I feel like all of these will kind of funnel into the same outcome because I kind of like all of them. It's a prestigious position is nice context for what a portal is to the Takan people. I don't know that it's super relevant right now outside of course correcting Solano to being a little bit more diplomatic in the way that he's talking to him. He's willing to help us is nice because it's very direct and it says, hey, let's get down to business. I suspect if I say that, Portal will step in and say, but only if you give me full access to your computers, like I told Jara back there in the turbo lift. But it does catch Solano up to all of the conversations we had back on the planet, and it gets him up to speed. It doesn't waste time, so I like that. It's very concise. We're lucky to have him is also nice because that is another course correction for Solano. So although it maybe does speak to his intentions a little more than is warranted. Because we're lucky to have him implies that he definitely will help us, and that is why we are lucky. But he has not committed to definitely helping us. He is willing to help us. Given certain conditions, he is open to the idea of helping us, which is why he's here. But he's not going to help us guaranteed. So I think all of this has led me to believe that X is probably the best course of action.
He's been kind enough to agree to help us find Galvin.
I am at your service.
Oh.
To whatever extent I can be of help.
If nothing else, I'm sure you're happy for a change of scenery.
Yeah.
You spent 600,000 years at your post.
Blink of an eye.
That certainly takes
for
a
Portal.
common level of dedication.
We all have our duty.
Of course.
Word.
But I'm curious. You were stationed there in preparation for what exactly?
Any and all threats to the Empire.
An empire that
Except for the one that killed him.
exists, which suggests you weren't very successful.
Hey, yo, Captain. What the hell?
You said you needed my help. I didn't come here to be insulted.
Yeah, what the hell, Solano?
Perhaps that was a mistake. I'd be happy to return to Delphi Ardu at any time.
Like I said, Solano just has, like, no charisma. He has no idea how to be diplomatic or talk to people. I think he's just kind of a bad captain, guys. I think there's maybe something to him being a bad captain. We do need your help. He meant nothing by it. Of course, you're not to blame. Okay, well, we do need his help. That is for sure, but he knows that. That is that is sort of a, I'm just going to pretend Solano doesn't exist and we're not going to talk about what just happened. We do need your help. He meant nothing by it absolves Solano of his indiscretion, but I don't know that that will be terribly convincing. Maybe this could have been avoided by me saying, it's a prestigious position, or we're lucky to have him, or whatever. Just compliment him a little bit and subtly signal to Solano that this is somebody you should respect a little bit. Of course, you're not to blame. It does feel like it throws Solano under the bus, kind of. It says, sorry, Portal, he's just like this. He's already so angry at us, you know, what's the harm in that? Although having been in situations where diplomacy is required between multiple parties, I could see a scenario where X, he meant nothing by it, allows me to be the mediator who understands what Solano has been trying to say and translates that to Portal, and then takes what Portal says and translates that to Solano, so that way they are both speaking on the same wavelength. Because sometimes people just talk past each other. They have different styles of communication. Sometimes people will say something when they mean something else because they're poor communicators. I think Solano is a poor communicator. I think we've seen that since episode 1. The fact that he does not talk to his crew has been an ongoing issue. As time has passed, I thought more about it, and I honestly think the vast majority of problems between Captain Solano and the crew is poor communication. I've heard from Captain Solano 1-to-1, and I've heard from the crew 1-to-1, and it feels a little bit like they're kind of talking past each other. More honest and direct communication and just like earnest, like sit-down chats between the captain and the people who he is captaining, I think would go such a long way. I'm leaning towards X. Y does feel very neutral and straightforward and matter of fact. X tries to smooth over the interaction to get everybody back on good terms. A says, hey, Portal, I'm sorry. I don't know why he's talking to you like this. It's just don't worry about it. Just talk to me. We're on good terms. We talked back on the thing. I showed you a lot of respect. I have not been very curt to you, even though you've been a bit of a jerk to me throughout this whole process. But, you know, like whatever. That's just your communication style, I guess. That's something we can work on. You haven't spoken to a person in 30 years, and before that, probably not for another 600,000 years. I'm willing to give you a little bit of leeway. I don't know. I'll try it.
You'll have to forgive him. I'm sure he meant nothing by it.
I know exactly what he meant. His disrespect speaks for itself.
I'm merely curious where your allegiance is.
Oh my God, Solano, shut the hell up. Do you not see when I am putting in the work here for us? All right, mixed bag with Portal. Portal 6-3 felt slightly less offended after Jara defended him from Captain Solano's insult when they first met, but he couldn't understand why she tolerated his ignorance. Yeah, well, it's because I've pissed him off a bunch lately, and I wanted to do so less, but he is like weirdly aggressive right now. I don't like that.
Might lie, and clearly it's with the Takan.
Shut the hell up.
You have found me out and exposed my true loyalties to the Takan, not to the Scions of the Flame, who do nothing more than tarnish us in name and reputation and don't deserve to be called Takan. That's why I'm here. And if you'd be so kind as to give me access to your ship's systems, we can get on with it. And you can stop wasting my time.
Access to our systems?
Why did Solano send me onto the planet? To get this guy on our side, to help us out, if he's just going to assault this guy. If he's just going to accuse him of being a collaborator for unsubstantiated reasons, like, what the hell are we doing here? I'm so confused. What? Solano? Why is Solano? I genuinely would not be surprised if Solano is Scions of the Flame. If he has been masquerading as Captain Solano. I think I mentioned this multiple parts ago. He might have been like the first Scions of the Flame, because he might have caused whatever the incident was that nobody talks about. Oh no. Did he get to Conbrain? Oh no. Did Solano get to Conbrain? Although maybe not. Maybe he's not to Conbrain. Maybe he's just a hypocrite. Just the way he's acting is so like self-sabotaging. He has, throughout this whole process, been a force of resistance.
We shouldn't take any chances. We should at least alert Starfleet that our system was compromised.
And essentially tell them this mission was a failure before it's even over? No.
What are you talking about?
It's not how we're gonna do it.
And he has made everything harder.
The hell we will.
Captain?
What about my crew trapped aboard that ship? Or what you did to my...
Solano and his... every step of the way.
Then when the time is right, we can confront them.
Diplomatically, of course.
Right.
Huh, hey Solano. So about that not notifying Starfleet about what's going on here, it seems like if we have a bunch of our top people in this room surrounded by the Takan who perhaps have nefarious objectives, maybe it would be good to have Starfleet know that we are in here. So I don't know why Solano even agreed to come here if he's not going to accept Portal 6-3's help. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, guys?
That's completely out of the question. Tell me that's not what you promised. We're vulnerable enough as it is. And now we're supposed to give him access to everything? Ridiculous.
Can I just call out Duval real quick? Just get a little, directive to relieve someone of duty? Maybe. He is really sabotaging a lot. I promise nothing. That is true. I told him I would do what I can, but I'm probably not going to say that. Because if I say that right now, then I am letting Solano off the hook. I'm saying it is okay for you to give him nothing because I didn't promise anything to him. And then Portal 6-3 will hear that and he will go, so you just told me what I wanted to hear enough to get me into this room, but you had no actual intention of upholding your end of the bargain, right? Because I told him I would do the best that I can. And if I come in here and say I promise nothing, that is far from the best that I can insofar as securing him all of the tools he needs to do this job for us. So I'm not saying why. Then we have, I understand your concern, which is probably a decent approach for allowing Solano to feel like he is heard, but while still advocating for Portal 6-3. And then we have, it's our best shot. If I say it's our best shot, I think it is true. But what Solano will hear is full forced resistance against his concern. He will say, you didn't promise him anything, and I will say, well, it's our best shot. Which implies that I did promise him full access to our ship's systems when I didn't. So I think I have to say I understand your concern. Because again, I'm trying to deal with his bullshit. I'm trying to get Solano to see reason, which has been historically a very difficult thing to do. And I do not do that by fully relenting to his impulses, which are wrong. And I do not do that by fully pushing against him. Instead, I have to make him feel heard. I think that's really the only way to get through to him a little bit. He does sometimes relent halfway if you walk that tightrope.
Captain, I understand your concern, and I don't necessarily disagree.
I do disagree.
Now I understand your reluctance. I never imagined offering to help would be met with such ignorance.
Portal, chill out for a second.
If you're not enjoying your visit to...
Wait, that's all she had to say? She didn't even advocate for him. She just said, you know what? You're right, Captain. What? That is not at all what that prompt implied. Not at all. Like, I low-key want to restart this chapter because of that. This chapter's pissed me off. I'm so annoyed. Maybe she'll have more to say after Solano gets us out of his system.
Our ship. We'd be more than happy to let you wither away back on your pathetic list.
Solano, what the hell?
You clearly do not appreciate the magnitude of the threat the Scions pose. So myopic is your focus on your own ego. I will not be leaving until they have been found.
Thanks, Portal.
Commander Rydek, a word.
I would like multiple words with you right now. Hey, I'm sorry, Portal. I'm going to try to talk sense into him.
I waited 600,000 years for this.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
You realize that's supposed to be in an incredibly difficult position.
Not really.
I was against seeking him out from the start. But now, to give him access to our systems?
Solano, do it.
It's insane. And you somehow expect me to believe his allegiance is with us? You heard what he said in there. There's no way we can trust him.
What are you talking about? Solano, are you stupid? Do you have no, like, comprehension skills? Okay. He's Takan, not a Scion. That is what he said. That is factually true. There is a difference. He stands with us. That's overstating things, and Solano won't believe that, and I don't think that's necessarily true, but right now it is an alliance. You may be right. Absolutely not. I think even if I said you may be right, she'll say, you may be right, but you may be wrong. You don't know yet. You don't have enough evidence to say either way. You're just making a wild assumption. That might be what A results in, but I'm not going to take that chance because I don't think he's right. I don't think there's a chance he is right. I think he is very wrong. I'm going to go with a Y. Y seems the most factual. It reiterates what he said, but it's coming through my voice. So sometimes when you're talking to people in power, if you say something in the wrong voice, it just won't click with them. And you just have to get somebody who they trust and understand to say the exact same thing, and for some reason that works. So that's what I'm doing here. It also makes it very clear that, like, yeah, he's not with us, but he's not with the Scions either. And the Scions are our enemies right now.
I might otherwise agree, but you're missing the most important point. He's a Takan, and he may be loyal to the Takan, but not to the Scions of the Flame. He's against everything they believe in. You heard what he said.
There's too much at stake to be wrong on this.
I'm not fucking wrong on this.
We sought him out for a reason. To help him find our missing crew, Galvin, and those Elydian ships. This is the plan we agreed to with Ambassador Spock.
Which I never liked. But here we are.
Solano, sometimes we go on missions that we don't like, but we do them because we are in the future space military. Now, I am all on board with not following unethical orders. That is not what this is. Buddy over here is stomping his feet saying, I don't like this plan, and he has no other plan. He would just rather let Scions of the Flame take over the galaxy. He would just prefer that. Or he would just prefer to have wishful thinking and hope that they don't do that, even though they've explicitly said that that's what they want to do. I'm so dumbfounded this this chapter.
You know what this mission means to us. Not just for the Federation.
Shut up about that.
But for me personally. I can't afford another screw-up.
Yeah, that is what you have been doing this entire time.
Rhythms was bad enough. This This could be the end of my career.
It's probably about time. First of all, you're getting a little old, Solano. Like, let's be honest. It's okay. Happens to everybody. Anybody who's lucky enough to live long enough to get old. But two, I think this is an opportunity to actually correct a wrong. I think you have done such a bad job with this mission that things have escalated out of control, and you finally have an opportunity to rein it back in. And that is with Portal's help. I have your back. We'll take every precaution. This is about more than just you. I have your back will make him feel good, but I don't like that. Because it makes me a yes man, and I'm not going to back his every whim. I've shown that time and time again, so I kind of don't like saying that. We'll take every precaution feels very neutral, and it feels prudent, and maybe that will reduce his fears a little bit to say, hey, we're not doing this recklessly. We will supervise him. We will do everything in our power to do so as responsibly as possible. And that's all we can do. That is a sensible dialogue choice. This is about more than just you. So I have said this before, and he does not care. Because for him, it's not about more than just him. It is about him. He has made that explicitly clear. He does not care about anybody other than himself.
I'm sorry, Captain, but this isn't about you. The lives of everyone who wears a uniform are at stake.
I don't see it that way.
He has a massively inflated ego. He is afraid of his career ending. He thinks everything's about him. He's kind of narcissistic. Like, I could tell him this is about more than just you. I would love to see how he responds, but I don't think he cares. I have tried to get through to him, and I can't. So I guess we'll take every precaution.
We'll take every precaution to make sure we get what we need. I'll keep a close eye on him myself.
I appreciate that. I'm going to trust your instincts on this one.
Shut up, Solano. I'm so done with you. Captain Solano didn't entirely trust Jara regarding giving Portal 6-3 access to the ship's computers, but found himself persuaded by her convincing argument in favor of it. Well, okay. At least we're making progress.
I just hope you're right. For both of our sakes.
I am. I'm always right.
Let me know if you find anything.
I'm the player character.
We're good. You may begin.
I will, of course, have to make a few modifications.
That's fine. Whatever.
What kind of modifications?
To find Taconian technology requires Taconian technology.
All right, sure.
If this Scion modified his ships, then I must do likewise to yours.
Well, upgrade? Go for it.
The galaxy is nearly infinite in size and complexity. This may take a moment.
Okay.
How long
I
will
found
it take?
something. There you are.
That's so funny.
Galvin?
Someone is using Taconian technology. I can't get the precise bearings, but it's located in the Palisades cluster.
I'll let the captain know.
Is this a Zeldy? Because a Zeldy is different than Galvin's ship. Right, Gavin went off on a mission somewhere that we don't know about. And this could be the Zeldy, which of course is using Taconian technology. We have all of the Scions, or a bunch of Scions on that ship. We could be on our way to getting the gang back together. And just a quick aside here, Portal 6-3 just said the galaxy is nearly infinite in size and complexity. Clearly, he must have meant the universe, because the galaxy is not nearly infinite in size. It's quite finite. We know how big it is. It's pretty complex, but it's not infinite in complexity. The universe, well, we don't know how big it is necessarily, but we know how big the visible universe is. The Takan might know how big the universe is for real, given a variety of factors, but it seems weird to me that Portal 6-3 got this wrong. But then again, Galvin had that one comment about the size of the Takan Empire and how massive and sprawling it was, and that seemed a little off to me, so maybe the Takan just don't have a great grasp on scale. I'm not sure. I just wanted to point that out. Honestly, I don't think I have ever been proven right so quickly. Imagine Solano is like, I don't think I trust him. I didn't like this plan to begin with. Within 30 seconds, Portal 6-3 has found another source of Taconian technology in use. Just immediately found it. How hard would that have been to have found them without Portal's help? Nearly impossible. Just immediate vindication.
Rydick to Solano. I think Portal may have located Galvin.
Isn't he just in the other room?
I'm getting all kinds of interference.
It's like 15 feet away.
It's impossible to lock on the energy signature.
Where's he hiding?
In the Palisades cluster.
Interesting. Can you lock in on the location?
Not until you get me closer.
Lieutenant Handar, set a course for the Palisades cluster.
Aye, Captain.
Well, I suppose I owe you an apology. You were right after all. That's what I get for questioning the advice of my first officer.
Yes.
You always have my back.
No. No, I don't. You damn well do owe me an apology. You owe Portal an apology? You owe me like a couple apologies. I don't know, throw in an apology for Duval too, while we're at it. I don't know what you did to her, but probably nothing good. I appreciate it. Your concerns were valid. I'm just glad it worked. Nah, fuck that. I appreciate it. I am accepting the apology, and we're leaving it at that. If I say your concerns were valid, it's kind of a dig at Portal. He's standing right there. It's like, yeah, I don't know, this Portal guy's real shifty. I totally hear you. Your concerns are valid. It's like, okay. Huh? I'm just glad it worked. It's sort of a vote of low confidence for Portal. Like, it might not have worked. I didn't really trust him, but, you know, I knew it was the right thing to do. Like, whatever. I appreciate it.
They say the true measure of a leader is being able to admit your mistakes. So thank you.
Next time I'll do a better job of listening.
Great.
Nice work. Let me know if you find anything more.
Will do.
I will hold you to that. Hey, what up, Portal?
What's wrong?
I didn't want to say anything until I was certain. But the reason for the interference is simple. There's a Taconian device on this ship being used to block the signal. Whoever planted it was exceptionally clever. They knew how and where to hide it. But they have underestimated my abilities.
Hell yeah. Is it the crystal from earlier?
Take care of the Taconian device, and I can find Galvan for you.
Miranda, where did you hide it?
Designed to interfere with all transmissions, or at least delay and confuse the effort to find Galvan's ship.
Yeah, I feel like this must be the crystal that was attached to the shuttle that Miranda ran off with when she was first starting to turn into Scions of the Flame. Interesting. I'm really glad Portal waited until Solano left to have this conversation with me, because Portal is only sure of one thing: me. I don't think he trusts anybody else who joined me on that away mission. I don't think he trusts Solano. But I think he has had enough conversation with me to understand my values, where I'm coming from, and he understands that I understand him, at least more than anybody else. So I'm glad he confided that in me, because he could also just say, I gotta go. I'll be around. And then he's like snooping around the ship and doing stuff, trying to find this thing, but it would make him look suspicious. So I'm glad he confided in me. We could go look for it together, or he can stay here and I could go look for it, which sounds like what's going to happen. That's totally fine as well. Oh, also, I don't know if Jara was made aware of the crystal's existence. It was mostly Carter, Miranda, Ed Solar, that like crew, and then just some of Miranda's people, but I don't remember Jara ever being looped into that. You're sure it's Taconian? Is there a Takan on board? Why trust me? I like all of these. Why trust me? I just kind of talked about why I think he does trust me, but it would be nice to hear him say it. I don't know. That would make me feel good on the inside. But also he might not trust me. He just maybe trusts me slightly more than all the others around us. Is there a Takan on board? I don't think there is. Well, also, I shouldn't. I feel like I shouldn't say that because it implies that Scions of the Flame are Takan. As far as we know, Portal 6-3 is the last living Takan person in a Takan body. So saying, is there a Takan on board? Well, one, yes, and it's Portal 6-3. But two, if I'm meaning to say Scion, is there a Scion on board, but I say Takan? That's kind of offensive, I feel like. Don't give them that credibility. We just had a whole talk about how they don't represent us. But it would be a good question to ask. You're sure it's Taconian? I think he would know. It seems like technology he's familiar with. He'd probably answer with, trust me, I've seen how technologically advanced your ship is, your modern ship. It's not your technology. Funny though. Good joke. Good joke. I like X, but there is that sort of risk associated with it, so I think I'm just going to ask why trust me, even though I think I know the answer. It feels like the safest question to ask, and one of the more productive ones.
Why would you trust me with this?
I cannot be sure I trust anyone on this ship. But you and I came to an understanding on Delphi Ardu.
Right.
That will have to be enough.
Don't worry, I'll
Spot
get this
on.
fixed. We're going to find that ship.
I don't think this will play into the video game at all, or any of the dialogue options, but I think Jara questioning why he would trust her with this task does actually make Jara more trustworthy. I think somebody who understands the dynamic and is uncertain about it is more trustworthy to me, because at least they understand what's happening. If somebody blindly says, oh, he trusts me, and just goes forward assuming that he trusts me, I feel like I would trust you less, because you don't really understand what we're doing here. Again, I don't think that'll actually make him trust me more, but I think that question does make Jara more credibly trustworthy. Just personally.
Engineers would have found this device already if it wasn't well hidden.
It's in the warp core.
Better to rely on my tricorder.
I really hope we get to do like the warp core eject sequence where all the smoke comes out of the warp core, so that way I can draw the smiley face like Captain Picard does. Please. Oh, interesting. We've been in the warp core before here in engineering, but I didn't notice this engineering console in the middle. In TNG, it's longer. There's basically, it's kind of like out to here or something like that. So this is sort of a one-person interface, whereas in TNG, it's like a four-person interface on the sides or something like that. But also, this is sort of shaped like the Starfleet comm badge a little bit. It's got the sort of rocket ship shape. Yeah. That's nice. I like that. I'm just walking around, taking a look at the display's propulsion display. We're seeing something happen over here in the warp core, right? The matter-antimatter reaction. I'm not sure what's going on with the sort of compression happening in the top Y section of the warp core. But then clearly that energy is getting passed along through a relay into the warp nacelles. That's kind of cool. I've never really thought too hard about the logistics of getting the energy from the warp core to themselves. Nacelle systems displays. Cool. This does look kind of like a more contemporary jet design. Sort of like that. A little bit. Also, I can see outside of the ship. Oh my god. Get whoever modeled this environment on the phone immediately. They forgot to block off the geometry on this. Whoops. Uh-oh. This certainly is a violation in safety protocol. They must be using a force field in effect here to keep this area airtight, of course. This is something that they actually do in Star Trek, but usually not for a broken seam like this. Usually that's for if, we're getting shot by proton torpedoes or something. Is it also on the other side? It is! Oh no. Tragic. All right, let's get out the tricorder.
There's a lot of noise in here. I should scan the device putting out the most radiation to filter it out.
Okay. I can do that. Channeling my inner Carter.
That's better. Most other radiation sources in here are well contained. There's definitely tetrametric radiation nearby. But even with the gain boosted, it's getting drowned out by other sources of radiation in here.
Resolute warp core. Byproduct radiation of the matter-antimatter reaction, primarily low-frequency radio waves, free neutrinos, and acoustic kinetic energy. That's another way to say sound, audio. The really nice sort of a room tone, which is great. Really nice sound design for warp cores usually. Oh, we have an ensign over here who is radiating immensely. Just kidding, it's behind him. Jeffrey's tube.
Jeffrey's tubes thump harmonics from all over the ship. I'll filter that out. There's still something drowning out the tetrametric radiation. I need to find it so I could filter it out as well.
That's a funny idea that they sort of have like a sort of resonance frequency or something because it's resonating with the vibration and the sound of the warp core. Jeffrey's tube. Maintenance crawl spaces act as a waveguide for ultra-low frequency acoustic and electromagnetic radiation, generally in the 75 to 85 decibel range. Oh, it's so loud. Caution labels mark areas of high radiation and recommended personal protection gear. All right, what's next? Oh, something way over there. Coming through. Is it also on the left side? No, just the right side. What is going on over here? Oh. What the hell is this? I guess my tricorder will tell me. I also don't know what this is. Looks like a big-ass vacuum tube computer or something. I don't know.
A little bit of harmless radiation leakage here, but enough to mask the tetrametric pulses. Easy enough to cancel out. There we go. I'm getting a clear tetrametric signal now.
EPS Visual Inspection Conduit. 6 layers of transparent alloys, vacuum barriers, and low-grade force fields contain the raw electroplasma behind these ports. Filtered radiation is primarily infrared and visible EM radiation between 580 and 1100 nanometer wavelengths. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Way on the other side. Pretty sneaky. Is it under the table? Under this table.
Found it.
Got your ass.
Excuse me. Do you belong here? Commander Rydek. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you.
Paul. Calloway, right?
Calloway.
Yes. It means a lot that you remembered. What, are you doing back here? I don't mean to pry, but first officers don't usually go digging around engineering compartments.
With all due respect, Calloway, you have no idea what first officers tend to do. What they usually do. It's your first mission. You've just started this job. You've been working here for like a week. You don't know what we do. Get the hell out of here, Calloway. I've been wanting Calloway to show up for 15 episodes. And he does, and he's all on my case. Routine check. It's need to know. Or I was looking for you. Routine check sounds like bullshit. It sounds like I'm just making something up to get him off my back. And I think he'll recognize that. And I don't think it'll sit well with him. I think he is a real, like, button up. He's got a lot to prove. So if anything stands out to him, he's going to really hunt it down. So I think routine check is out. I don't think he'll buy it even a little bit. He already thinks that we don't do routine checks. He's confused as to why I'm down here. If I tell him I'm always down here when I'm literally never down here, he won't buy it. It's a need to know is true, but I don't know if I want to give him the information that there is a need to know operation happening. It does allow me to pull a rank and say, look, this is above your pay grade. Just let me handle it. There's something about its need to know that makes me feel like I will be over divulging to him, maybe. I was looking for you is interesting because I think on its face it will seem like a lie because it is a lie. He'll be like, oh, you were looking for me under this desk, right? Like that doesn't make sense. But at the same time, it might be an opportunity for me to get information out of him. I don't know what that information would be. I don't know how he could help, but it could allow me to recruit his help in some capacity. But it might be something as simple as, hey, I'm doing something here. I need you to act as lookout and just make sure that like nobody else comes in here for a minute. Are we good? Or I need you to run to engineering and I need you to get me a containment box like Miranda had. I really wish I had more information, more context on some of these options before I chose them. I mean, at least its need to know does acknowledge that I'm doing something weird. But Starfleet is so much about a sort of collaborative effort. So I do like that I was looking for you might enlist him in helping us somehow. I do wonder if I am kind of disarmed by Calloway because he is so green, he's so fresh into his service that it makes me feel like he's a little naive, and because he's a little naive, I feel like he can't be a scion of the flame. But I have no basis on that. There's no merit to that assumption. He could very easily be scions of the flame and just acting off the memories and thoughts and feelings of Calloway. So it could be a risk for me saying I was looking for you. But in such a scenario, if he is Scions of the Flame, and I say it's a need to know, and I'm standing right next to the crystal, maybe he placed the crystal there, he would know exactly what is need to know. And in that scenario, routine check is probably the only one that kind of makes sense. It's like, oh, I'm just looking around, I'm just doing a routine check. I'm not here for anything in particular, because then there's some amount of deniability that I could say, oh, well, I'm not here for the crystal that's under the desk for sure. And he might think, well, I don't want to blow my cover, and she might not know that the crystal is here, so I'm going to let her go. Although I was looking for you might be really interesting if he is Scions of the Flame. Because he'd be like, huh? Me? Why are you looking for me? He might just be like that anyway, just because he's kind of a fanboy. He's got a mildly parasocial relationship with Jara. I want to say I was looking for you. I think that's interesting.
I was looking for you.
Under the console?
Yeah.
Dropped my tricorder. But I do need your help. Have you seen anyone else in here recently that might...
Big green outline. Calloway, finally. Calloway's summary text has been updated for the first time since episode 1. Yo, we love to see it. We love to see character development. Finally. Even though it's not really development, it's just an updated interaction. Ensign Calloway was flattered to learn Jara had come looking for him when he discovered her lurking in engineering, even though it did strike him as rather odd. What can I say? I've been trying to get your help for a long time, Calloway.
Seem out of the ordinary. Maybe someone who doesn't work in engineering.
I did kind of think it might lead to this kind of questioning.
But I can ask around. I'm here almost all the time, but maybe someone else noticed something?
I would say be discreet. If you're gonna do it, be very discreet. Be discreet is gonna get Calloway hurt in some way. He's gonna ask the wrong person, and they're gonna like hold him hostage or something. Don't bother would be really weird for me to say, I think. I think that would just make Calloway really suspicious. If I were Calloway and I knew about Silence of the Flame, which at this point I assume everybody on the ship understands Silence of the Flame. Otherwise, they'd be like, why did we leave Hotari? Why did we leave Tau? Why are we here where Portal 6-3 is on the ship now? You know, like, surely they must have been told something. So if I were Calloway and I knew about Silence of the Flame, and Jara shows up in engineering where she's not usually at, she's looking under a console, she clearly lies about what she was looking for. And then when she says, hey, have you seen anything weird? And then I'm like, nah, not really. And then she goes, yeah, don't tell anybody. I'd be like, huh? That secrecy would be suspicious to me. Even though it would kind of make sense if I really thought about it and I thought, oh, well, you know, we don't know who signs the flame, who's not. It's a little bit like DS9 territory of like, who's a changeling? Nobody knows. Anybody could be an enemy, so there's a lot of suspicion across the board. Alas Chovak myself feels like the chain of command kind of response. That is who she would talk to. I kind of like enlisting him in the cause, though, by being discreet. I don't know, it's kind of an irresponsible thing to say, but I sort of like it. I guess here's the distinction for me. If I say I'll ask Chovak myself, then that means that 2 people in engineering know that I'm looking for something suspicious in engineering. If I tell him to be discreet, it is possible that only 1 person from engineering will know that I'm looking for something suspicious in engineering. Now, it's also possible that I ask him to be discreet and he will not be discreet, and everybody in engineering will know that I'm looking for something suspicious in engineering. So I think I'm going to say be discreet, and I think it's going to be slightly irresponsible, and I think it's maybe not the best option to choose. But I like it, so I'm going to say it.
That would be great. Just be discreet about it. I don't want anyone to be alarmed.
Discretion is my specialty.
Okay.
But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
I saw you running through the hallways.
Leave me alone already. Oh, come to think of it, that Hotari woman was down here earlier with Dr. Duvall finishing the last of the bioscans.
Tylus?
That would be out of the ordinary, right?
Thank you.
He said Hotari woman, and my brain went to Takan woman for some reason. I was like, huh? And it's like, oh, no, Tylus. Right, yeah. Sorry. I don't know what to think about that. Didn't really process the information.
Maybe Tylus saw something.
Could be. I feel like we trust Tylus for the most part. Oh, wow. We just zipped right up here. Those turbo lifts get faster and faster on every ship. Duvall's not even in here. I need to talk to her about the captain. We haven't been in here since Miranda left us. What's up, Tylus? How you doing?
Tylus, can I speak to you for a moment?
Of course. Is something wrong?
Maybe.
There's something happening.
Privacy shield.
I need your help. This is important.
How can I help?
When you were in engineering with Dr. Duval, did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Or anyone?
She doesn't know who works there.
Why?
I found this, hidden in a compartment down there.
Why are you always...
Sonian technology. Does that mean there's a scion on board?
I feel like Jara is always divulging secrets to Tylus. She's always telling Tylus stuff that she probably should keep on the DL. Also, you're getting out this Takan technology where anybody in medbay can see it. I know she did the little beep bop bloop blop on the console, but that didn't make it so that people can't see in. I think she just activated the force field so somebody can't like rush in. Also, yeah, why would Tylus know what is out of the ordinary on our ship's engineering room? She's been on this ship for like a day. I mean, I guess she could have noticed if somebody was like slinking around like this in engineering, doing some real suspicious shit. Maybe that would have stood out. But but she's not going to know that, Ermont was in engineering. He's never in engineering. She's not going to be able to pick up on discrepancies like that.
But Dr. Duval bioscanned everyone. Every deck, every crew member. I've seen the logs. She couldn't have been more thorough.
Okay, that's good to know. I mean, this could have been here since beforehand. Someone evaded detection. We don't know that for sure. Could have been Miranda. It could have been. We have to trace contacts. I guess we could. I don't know that there's necessarily a wrong choice in the bunch, because someone could have evaded detection. It could have been Miranda, and tracing contacts might be a good idea. I think all of the above has some amount of merit. I feel like I'm going to say could have been Miranda, just because that's my thought. We don't know how long this technology has been on board. Could have been here when Miranda was here, and other Scions of the Flame as well. There was a whole crew of them who jumped off and got on the Zeldi, and this might have been in play as early as that. I don't want to raise the alarm. I wonder if we have to trace contacts could be sort of a mid-ground, where could have been Miranda sort of assuages fear and says, hey, don't worry about it. This might have been from something else. There's probably not anybody on board. Whereas someone evaded detection is a little bit more alarmist and urgent, and it says, there's definitely somebody on board right now. We have to figure out who it is. We have to trace contacts could say, I don't know who placed it there, but we should work on figuring that out. It could have been Miranda. It could be somebody still on board. We're not sure. Unfortunately, I didn't ask Portal 6-3 whether he thinks that there's a Takan on board. If I had chosen that question, I might have more context and information to navigate this conversation right now. I wonder if we have to trace contacts is suggesting that we look through logs of comm badges and stuff like that to see when people interacted, and we could find anybody who is in contact with Miranda and other Scions, other known Scions, somebody who might have been turned. I think I'm still going to say it could have been Miranda, but I think we have to trace contacts is smart and is probably a better answer. But I think it is worth pointing out that that is a possibility.
It's entirely possible it was Miranda who planted the device before we caught her.
But we can't assume anything at this point.
True. Yes.
Could be anyone.
That includes both of us.
Could even be me.
Better to know for sure, right? I'll admit, I was around the Scions as much as anybody.
Honestly, that would be such a baller-ass revelation if the game decided to reveal to you in this chapter that this whole time, Jara has been a Scions of the Flame. You've been playing as the Ops this whole time. That would be kind of wild. It could be either one of us, but especially me. yes, I do. No, I trust you. We don't have time for this. Well, Tylus won't take offense to it. We both agree that it could be either one of us, so I'll say yes, I do. Better to be safe than sorry. Jara has always had entirely too much trust in Tylus. I get it, but at some point, you know, if we're doing a DS9, you have to test everybody. I don't know what the time pressure is for we don't have time for this. So I'm going to say, yeah, I do. And I don't think she'll think less of me. But like, let's just be sure, you know?
I would feel more comfortable if you did.
Yeah, that's a good way to phrase it.
I understand.
T-pose.
Clear.
Now it's your turn.
Sure.
Not me. Rules for thee, not me.
Clear.
Nice.
Sound so surprised.
You spend plenty of time with the Scions as well. You never know.
Let's get to it. The search starts in engineering. Whoever planted the device most likely did it within the last few hours.
Wait, really?
So I'll start by running a scan, tracking everyone who came through engineering over the last day, in reverse order.
This could take forever to sort through the number of people that were in engineering.
Duplicates, Hatari delegation, non-engineering personnel. Well, if there are any duplicates, we should get rid of those first. We need a clean signal. I see one of these is Odo, and then some numbers, and then CBS. That's very goofy. Yo, rest in peace, Odo. Renee, I forget his last name. I think he died just a couple years ago. Pretty recently.
I'll filter out the duplicates.
Nice.
Helps.
Oh, I guess we're gonna filter out each of these, huh? Sure, Hatari delegation.
Cross-referencing this list with everyone who's traveled to Hatari.
Now this is manageable.
And one more, non-engineering personnel.
Filtering for outliers. People who don't work in engineering. Let's see who's left.
His first name is Zachary?
No. This can't be right.
What?
I mean...
The people that went to Hatari and visited engineering. It could only have been... Captain Solano.
According to this, he was here while you went down to Delphi Ardu 4. Which would have been the perfect opportunity. And no one would question him. He's the captain.
Did I say it? Who could have foreseen this coming? The guy who is constantly making everything worse for us. Yeah, huh? What? This doesn't make sense. The guy who's trying to sabotage us at every step of the way. How could it be? The guy who killed like 12 people before I got on board. Him? No. Our options are, it adds up. This is devastating. The Takan would want him. Jara, I beg you, stop saying Takan, start saying Scions of the Flame. As long as Portal is on board, we must be very particular about how we use these terms. It is important. Language is important sometimes. I'm not going to say this is devastating because I saw it coming. Although it is devastating insofar as, like, not emotionally devastating. It's devastating in the ability to run the ship effectively if we are unclear about whether the captain is an enemy or not. I do think it adds up. I think it helps explain some things. However, the reason I think I'm probably going to say that Takan would want him is because I don't want her to jump to the conclusion that he is absolutely, definitely Scions of the Flame yet. We still have to scan him to be sure. even though we have done this filtering magic to end up with just one person, they filtered out all the people who don't work in engineering. It seems like a slightly arbitrary filtering vector for me. While yes, it would be easier for somebody to put it there if they've worked in engineering, maybe somebody came in who doesn't. You know, people move around quite a bit on ships like this. It could have been someone else. So I kind of don't want her to presume him as Scions until it is confirmed. Right now, it is just a suspicion. It is not a certainty. So I think I'll say that Takano would want him, because that is also factually true. When you have a body snatcher type story, the worst person to get their body snatched is a person in a position of power, a position of authority, somebody who can enact their will across many people without having to snatch their bodies as well. Right? It's very efficient and also scary, because it's hard to push back against, it's hard to fight against. So I'll say that Takan would want him.
He fits the profile for the kind of people the Takan want to bioform. People with authority that can lead to them gaining more control.
Like Galvin, the Queen.
Right. We've seen that before.
Federation starship. What happened when Dr. Duval bioscanned Captain Solano?
Is Duval one too?
She never did.
How is that possible?
Something more urgent would always come up. There was nothing she could do. But performing a bioscan is the only way to be absolutely sure.
That's not going to be easy. First thing I need to do is get this device to Portal.
Be careful. And good luck.
I'll need it.
I don't know, something more important came up.
Device.
It's so funny. It very much has a sort of subtext of there's always like the story or the episode where the captain needs to do their annual physical and they just do not want to do it, so they like make disasters to fix or something. They're just always this is more important, sorry, like the ship needs me, the crew needs me, I can't do my physical.
Interference is gone. I have located Galvin's ship more precisely.
Oh, so it is Galvin's.
He's in the Usonia system.
So then it worked.
This whole region was one of the most sacred for the ancient Takan. What many consider the birthplace of our civilization. See these comets and planetoids in the outer orbits? Based on their current trajectory, that's Galvin's destination. And legend tells us it's the location of what was once our largest arsenal. Not that we needed it in the late stages of the Empire, but it was there as a precaution nonetheless.
Takan mad. Mutually assured destruction. Okay. Yeah, that is bad news for us. Also, if this is like a solar system in the Palisades cluster, would you not have just assumed that they're going to your species origin with a giant arsenal of weapons? Wouldn't that be a logical conclusion to come to, Portal? Maybe you could have reasoned that out a little bit earlier. Maybe he just didn't want to say anything because he didn't want to make us nervous or something, but you could probably assume that. How long until they get there? What kind of weapons? Can you stop him? Well, Portal kind of flip-flops, goes back and forth as to whether Scions of the Flame are somebody he's willing to stop. So I don't know that he'll want to answer that outright. What kind of weapons could be useful, just to know what we're dealing with. How long till they get there is also useful. It almost doesn't matter how long until they get there, because we will have to go at full speed, and we'll just get there when we get there. They will beat us there. It doesn't matter how long. But if we know what kind of weapons it is, we might be able to prepare a little bit. But if it's really advanced weaponry, we probably won't have any defenses for it. Both of those are useful questions that will have answers that we will not be able to act upon in a meaningful way.
What kind of weapons are in this arsenal?
It's difficult to know what would have survived from the time of the Empire.
Fair.
Be assured that the damage they have done so far by altering your current technology will be minuscule compared to proper Draconian firepower. If Galvin and the other Scions secure the arsenal, they will become extremely dangerous. My people had such power at the height of the Empire. The Dakan were as gods, keeping absolute control over countless worlds. I must speak with them directly. However, the presence of this device is worrying. It's highly likely it was placed here by a Scion, hidden among your crew.
Yeah, about that.
This interference device was the Scion Saboteur's only trap. If we reach Galvin and the Saboteur cripples your ship, we will be at their mercy. Even my powers will not be able to protect us. Do you know who it is? They may well do more damage if left alone.
Funny you say that.
Not on your side.
I don't know for sure. Leave that to me. I think it's Solano. I don't know for sure is kind of nice because it implies that I kind of know, but I'm not 100% confident yet. It sort of indicates that I have a lead, which I do, but I have not confirmed it. So that's good. Leave that to me. I don't really like because it's sort of, hey, I'm on it. Don't worry about it. I'm on it. Whereas if Portal has advice, I would love to hear it. If he has a perspective on this, I would love to hear it. Leave that to me sort of blocks Portal out of the conversation, which I don't like. I think Solano could be good because he has met Solano, he has interacted with Solano, he has seen that Solano has been a little difficult to work with, and he might have his own read on Solano as to whether that is accurate or not. I don't like that it does sort of outright accuse him. That could be kind of bad, but it's very direct, and I trust Portal at this point. I have no reason to believe that Portal is a Scion. That would be kind of ridiculous. So I think I would trust Portal more than Tylus with this information. I just don't want it to be too confident. I mean, it does say I think rather than it's Solano. So there is some amount of uncertainty built into that. I just don't want to come out saying it's for sure definitely Solano. I figured it out. But I think I'll say it just because there might be some subtle clues that Portal could have picked up on, and he might be able to help us discern that. I like Portal knowing as much as we know.
I'm fairly convinced they bioformed Captain Solano.
I knew there was a reason I didn't like him. That explains it.
Could be.
Bioforming was so rare in the time of the Empire.
And he felt a growing trust in their relationship when she revealed who she suspected might be the Scion aboard the Resolute. All right, nice.
That I am not able to detect if it has taken place. Proof of your claim is something you will have to produce yourself.
Okay, fair.
Then we have to bioscan him. I'll talk to Dr. Duvall.
What up, Duvall?
The claim.
I'm actually going to pause it here because my throat is destroyed. It's also 3 a.m., so I'm going to stop for the night. Okay, we're really in the thick of it now, and I'm very eager to see whether or not Captain Solano really is Scion. I think he might be. I mean, I suspected it before they said it, and actually, now the chapter title, A Stranger Among Us, has a double meaning because it could be Solano and it could be Portal, depending on how you're framing it. So we have Portal on our side now. We brought him on board. We had him modify our technology, and we had that big confrontation with Solano where he really riled me up. He really got me feeling a certain type of way. We also had that big shootout scene with Carter and Edsolar. Made a bit of progress over there. Seems like it finally stopped their ship. But I think the only people who really got out of that alive is Carter, Edsolar, and Arminta. And then Itasca got scioned. So they are far from being out of the woods. Our forces are diminishing every time we cut back to that ship. But also we found the location of Galvin. So we don't know where Miranda and Carter and Edsolar are, but we do know where Galvin is now. And they are back on the Takan homeworld with a bunch of weapons, which seems not good. Seems bad, in fact. That's a problem for another day. Not today. I'm really enjoying this. This is like... It's just so fun. Even though sometimes the dialogue options kind of throw me for a loop, it's just nice being in the space. It's nice. It's just nice. It really does feel true to Star Trek in a lot of ways. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Feel free to, check out other parts in this series if you haven't seen them all yet. It seems weird to join 15 parts in, but, if that happens to be you, please do. There's a lot of good stuff. A lot of parts in this series that have a lot more science than this part had. Or, check out some of the other videos. There's plenty of them on this channel. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. It's late. I'll see you later. Next time on Star Trek Resurgence.